I can't lock out, but they ain't even fucking with you.
All right, y'all, what's up? I'm Trayvon. I'm your host of Old Fashioned Sit Down with my co-host.
This is Cole, man, and back to you. I want you to introduce. You know what? I'm going to introduce.
Go ahead, do it.
Because I'm kind of introducing them to you.
Yeah,
and
right.
That's kind of yeah. So Trayvon was very interested in. We're finding guests definitely to come on, and it's funny how quick he jumped at the opportunity to talk to Junior. And this is Junior Ezeonu. Junior is city councilman, place 7 or 8. 8. That's at large over the entire city. It's not an individual district. My man, I'm not going to tell your story. We're going to jump into it, but graduated college with the poli-sci, went straight into Grand Prairie politics, beat a long-term incumbent, a really good dude, and been serving for 3 years now. So thanks for coming on. And Trayvon, I want you to get to know a little bit from this guy. Both of you guys are young men that have kind of
right. Let me.
I've been very impressed by. So
let me tell Junior.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, definitely. My name is Junior Ezeonu, and I serve on the city council here in Grand Prairie, Texas, as an at-large member. As my guy Cole said, normally I call him Council Member Humphreys, but my boy Cole.
we're in relaxed mode today.
We're chilling today, so no suit and tie.
Man.
But yeah, so I serve on the city council. Been serving for the last 3 years. Was elected at the age of 22, so just a year older than Trayvon is now. And just really enjoy the opportunity to give back and serve our community collectively and to get things done in Grand Prairie.
Right. What jumped at me when Cole talked about you last episode was you were elected at 22. Like being that young and getting into something that big, right? That was crazy to me because I've been used to the last few years, my working life. I've been used to being the youngest person, but always being like one of the leads or one of the leaders at my jobs I've had. Like here at the firehouse, I've been a manager since I was 18, and that was just something I've been proud of because that just shows a lot of character, I would say. And that just said a lot to me about you, not even knowing you. So tell me a little bit, where did you grow up? High school, middle school?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think the first thing for me, I'm grateful to be a leader amongst the younger generation, next generation of leaders, and to show them also how to serve. And Cole, before I got on council, he was the youngest guy ever elected. How old? You were like 35?
I got elected at 35, yeah.
35. So, in politics, that's super young.
Yeah.
The average politician is like 65 years old. When it comes to age. I know, it's crazy. But, looking at Cole and looking up to him as like a mentor, someone I can look up to and learn, and great guy. Whenever I have a question, I can call him. Give me some advice. I might not agree 100%.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's very true, and that's important. That's so important, man. Discourse at this level is so important, and to move on, like have the understanding of each other and perspective, and then making a decision and moving on.
Right.
Exactly. So I've loved that, and to tell you a little bit about my background, I was born in Nigeria. That's where the Ezeonu last name comes from. I moved to America when I was 2 years old. Grew up in Arlington, Texas. Moved to Grand Prairie when I was about 16. Yeah, I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Lived in Grand Prairie for the last 9 years of my life. Recently bought a home here in Grand Prairie, so I'm really rooted in this community.
Right.
Did all my college at UT Arlington and graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science. When I was running for city council, I was actually a college student, funny enough. So we had I ran against an incumbent that had been in office for 12 years. So when he was first elected, I was 10 years old. It's I mean, I was in 4th grade. Like I was a youngin. I barely knew.
Oh man, that's
much.
Crazy.
So, you used to be like, Mom, look how fast I can run.
Exactly. Like back then, we're playing YMCA rec league basketball and concerned about those issues, and he's over here governing the city. So to be able to serve now, 12 years later, at the age of 22 years old, and now I'm 25. It was a blessing to be elected and to be in an office where I'm able to learn, work with people that I might not agree with, like I said, 100% of the time, but making sure that I'm learning, sharing ideas, we're having civil discourse, and we're finding ways to make Grand Prairie a better city. And I think over the course of the last 3 years, we've done that. I mean, I look at many things that we've accomplished, whether it's property tax reform and reducing the property tax rate a couple times, increasing the homestead exemption, minimum wage increases for full-time and part-time city employees to $15 an hour for part-time and $17.82 an hour for full-time. We're working here in the city, and we're trying to make the city a better place for everybody.
Right. Junior did that, by the way. I mean, the council supported him, but that was Junior's thing. It's so cool. It came in just boom, 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 effective, and it's hard to do that. I mean, you got to convince other people to understand what you're trying to do, and then get them to vote for it. And for him to do that so effectively and so fast, I mean, I was just like, whoa, what's going on here?
Right. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Hey.
Definitely.
Hey.
Yes.
Go, because tequila old fashioned, is that what the
tequila? We used tequila today. Okay.
I was telling Trayvon off camera, telling Cole off camera as well. I did not know that a tequila old fashioned existed.
We call that a mama's old fashioned.
I mean, this.
Thank you, Jason.
Well, that's important, and Jason is Mama's Medicine and Downtown Firehouse Gastropub, and he's just a supporter of everything's Grand Prairie. He allows us to come in here and sit down in the coffee shop, record, and then when Junior said, "I don't really drink bourbon, maybe tequila," and he's not even a big drinker, but and Trayvon goes, "Oh." Turns around, picks up a deal from Jason's recipe list, makes a tequila old fashioned.
On the fly, man. But see, it's so interesting. Me growing up, I didn't even look at politics. I'm still kind of not at all. But me growing up, I wanted to play in the NBA. You know, just these, fantasy dreams of kids growing up. What made you want to get into politics and become a politician?
Yeah.
Like, what role models did you have growing up for that?
That's a really good question. So growing up, I wanted to do something similar. I played basketball, elementary to high school. I love basketball. I wanted to go to the league, but had a really bad injury my freshman year that kind of stunted a lot of my goals there. But, our parents always talk about education, always having that backup plan. So if you're not able to go and become a musician or become a ball player, you got something that you can fall back on. But as a kid, I was a nerd. Like, I played sports, but I was a humongous nerd. I loved just learning about the world, understanding American government. I really enjoyed science and math as well. But social studies was my bread and butter, 100%. Right. I loved social studies. So in third grade, I had a teacher that told me, when you become president, don't forget about me. And at the time, I'm telling her, I can't be president. I was born in Nigeria. I'm not a natural born citizen. I'm a naturalized citizen. She was like, don't worry, the law may change by then. I said, yeah, whatever. But in high school, that's when I really got to the point where I say, I'm going to run for office one day. I'm going to run for office. I don't plan on running at 21, but I will run for office one day, and I feel like this is my path to serve and to make people's lives better. Because as a child, I was just grateful to this country for allowing my parents, my family to come here, to plant roots here, and gave us an opportunity. We went to good public schools. We had food on the table every day. My parents were able to work and just provide for us, something that they would not have been able to do back in Nigeria because of lack of opportunity. Right. So this nation just has so many opportunities, and it's incumbent on us, when those opportunities are present, to take them and to then utilize them to make something of yourself, but also to help other people. Wow. So that's where my passion came from, is just out of gratitude to my community, to this country, to this state, for giving my family an opportunity to come here and to get things done and to create a life where my parents can be proud of their kids, really.
Right. So that's also something I thought about, because Cole told me, he told me you were from Nigeria. Did you ever want to run for president, or have you always knew that you wouldn't be able to?
I always knew I wouldn't be able to, so I never even thought about it.
How does that make you feel? Like,
the law is a funny thing, because, in the law it says that we're all, equal citizens under the law and everything. But the fact that naturalized citizens don't have that same right is unfortunate, because if you think about it, if you're born in Germany, you can still run for president. You know why? What? One of your parents was a citizen when you were born. So the natural born citizen clause has an exemption.
Many variations.
Exactly.
Or army base.
Exactly. So Ted Cruz is a good example. He was born in Canada. But his mom is American.
The Holzer. Those hosers up
So
there.
neither one of your parents were from
Yeah,
America.
yeah, they're both from Nigeria. My dad at the time when I was born, my dad had a green card. He was a permanent resident, but he was not a citizen.
Hold on. You were that dude that sent me that email saying that you got a bunch of money. I'll just try to send you. I didn't know you were a prince.
The
man.
Nigerian prince, yeah. I was
prince.
the prince that needed $1,000 to unlock the millions that I had.
That's it.
Which is incredible that scam works on so many people.
It just took me a second to link up the night when you said that. I was like, I'm just now thinking about that.
The Nigerian prince, exactly.
Man,
Yeah,
I tell
hilarious.
you, just to be clear, it's so cool hearing your story. I knew most of your story, but just hearing you talk about it, there's an element in talking with Trayvon as well of your reaction to diversity. You see what I'm saying? Your reaction to diversity can say, I'm going to get better, do better, give back, or you can just fall into the system and be, just average. I'm not going to talk about whatever decisions you make negatively, but reacting positively, like giving back, fighting hard, working hard, reacting positively, like taking control, being a manager, like how important that is with your reaction to diversity. Yeah. Right. So honored to be around you guys. Thank you for doing that. And he doesn't know, tell just a little bit. I want you to know Trayvon a little bit because he's a good dude. Tell me just that about Chicago and coming here.
Well, I grew up in Chicago, lived shelter to shelter a lot. I was a foster kid from the age of 8 till I turned 18 to where I couldn't be one anymore. I moved here my freshman year of high school with my uncle, still as a foster kid. But growing up in Chicago, I had a lot of hard times, a lot of just homelessness, like hunger. I have a little sister. I lived with my mom most of my life until I became a foster kid. She recently passed away in December. Rest in peace to my mom. But for me growing up, like I was telling you, I wanted to play basketball, go to the NBA. For me growing up, my biggest role model was my mom because of how hard she fought to just make sure me and my little sister ate every day. We always had a roof over our head. And that made me who I am. That made me want to be the best at what I do, at everything I do. I played basketball at Grand Prairie High, 3 years on varsity. I never played basketball before high school.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be a part of the best team in Grand Prairie history.
Yeah, that was the best team they've had ever, right?
Ever, yeah.
Wow,
ever.
yeah.
Because, man, God has put me in the right places my entire life leading up to now. And I'm just so grateful and thankful. Like you said, I volunteer at a place called Youth World to help give back to kids who are living in situations I used to live in, and to show them a great example of what they can become and what they should strive to become, and that they can make it out of that situation no matter the given circumstances. Like you moving from Nigeria to here, I'm sure you had a lot of hard times growing up, but that didn't make you who you were. That just built up
The way you reacted to it.
Right.
You could have taken it as a reason to lay down, whatever that diversity is, good, bad, hard, sort of hard, whatever it is, it could be the reason to, I'm going to use terms, just lay down, right?
Right.
Give up.
Just give
not
up.
Not, use that as an excuse. But reacting and growing from it is very impressive. So.
Yeah, like God didn't make us to lay down. He made us to get back up every time we do fall down.
And the prodigal son, he woke up in a pig pen and went home. It was like he got to the point where it's like it's time to just do the right thing. As bad as it can get.
And we all have a story, and we all have like something that moved us to get to where we are today. And I think that's fantastic. Like, also tell me, what's the deeper purpose behind what you do for the city of Grand Prairie?
Yeah. And before I do that, I want to commend you for being a young man of color, and understanding that, life is going to have its adversity, but that can't stop you. And that's what I love about serving with this guy. This guy on the council, he's been through a lot, but every day he comes up there with a smile, and he's always about, hey, how can I make my district better? How can I make the city better?
Right.
And that's what it's all about, man. We can never lay down. We got to keep on fighting and keep on trying to make this world a better place.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, what's the deeper meaning, man? Is what I told you. I'm blessed, man. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. And selfish reason, helping people makes me happy. Like, helping people makes me happy. You'll relate to this. As a kid, one thing that I loved about the NBA was the NBA Cares
Right.
Foundation.
Right.
I love just seeing these guys go out there and, give food to the homeless, help residents in their cities that have issues at their home with their yards. I just love seeing it. I said, I want to create my own foundation one day. This is back when I was 100% basketball.
Right.
I want to be Chris Paul. I want to have a Chris Paul foundation. I want it to be Junior Ezeonu Foundation. I want to be like Kobe. I want to do the same thing. LeBron is sending people to school for free. Right. I want to send people to college for free. But as I got older, I said, okay, I ain't going to be a basketball player, but how else can I serve? And politics, government is one thing that I enjoy, but I'm also good at it. It's one thing to enjoy something, but then suck at it.
Yeah.
Then it's another thing.
You are good at it, man. You absolutely are.
Thank you. And it takes a special, Cole will tell you, it takes a very special person to serve, man.
Right.
It's a thankless job.
Yeah, winning an election is even different from, serving, and that's one of the biggest things. I actually enjoyed the election process. I liked it, I liked getting out, and there is fun to it, but the temperament and the character it takes to sit in a room with people you completely disagree with and still come to a conclusion and then go to the next subject, right? Like, man, it's tough. And Junior's seen me. That's when he talks about, I've had hard times, it's because it's just, it helps define me. I mean, I've become a better person because of it. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
100%, 100%. And that's why I enjoy serving with someone like him. He's honest and he's real, but at the end of the day, he's going to do what's best for the city.
Right.
He's going to do what's best for the community. And that's why we serve, man. I mean, this stuff is not easy, especially when you don't get paid to do it.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's for the love of people, for the love of the community. And truly, I think for us and for anybody for most of the people that serve, I would say that we look at service as an expression of God's love and God's grace on our lives.
Right.
Because if not for the grace of God, we don't know where we'd be.
We
don't know. I mean, like, we could be that person that's begging on the street for food, for money. That
Right.
could be us. We are
us.
no greater than them.
Right.
But we're lucky and we're blessed to be in the position that we're in. So let's use these positions to help people.
Right.
To teach them how to fish so they don't have to come back the next day asking for fish. Give them resources and allow them to do the work to improve their lives.
Bro, that was great. Man, that's the purpose of life altogether right there. And how did it feel winning at such a young age? And how did it feel to be so young in just a big position like that?
Yeah, I want to hear also about, you said about winning, like when you're running that first campaign and do you know you're going to win? Do you think you're going to win?
Right.
And you get to that night when you're about to do it in 22, you're like, wow, you're like freaking out. This is actually going to happen type deal, And so I'm kind of curious.
Like, how did it feel, everyone looking at you as the youngest person maybe ever to run? I don't know. And winning, like, how did people look at you?
Really good question. Running, when you're 22, you're naive at the same time because when I'm running, I'm over here thinking, yeah, I've done everything I need to do. I got a good chance to win.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the May election, not even the runoff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm over here thinking, I was like, I think I might win this election today. I think I might have got 55% of the vote. I'm not kidding you. During the May election, I thought I was going to win it. Election results came in. I said, dang, 35%?
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that low.
But
I didn't know it was that low.
But the incumbent had 39%.
Yeah.
And then we had 4 other people in our races that had like 5, 6, 7, 10%. They weren't really running serious campaigns. So I assumed on election day that I was going to win. I felt really good about it. But it's the naivete of being a young person that's running for the very, 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 very first time. That's knocked on doors but doesn't understand it takes a lot more than you just knocking your 1,500 doors. You got to do more than that to win an at-large race in Grand Prairie.
Against an incumbent.
But
Okay, explain that word to me real quick.
An incumbent?
Yeah.
Incumbent is, like, for example, I'm an incumbent. He's an incumbent right now. We are the current office holders.
Okay.
Whoever's in office, Joe Biden's the incumbent on the presidential level. Whoever's in office right now is the incumbent.
Got you.
Great question.
It's worth noting that Joe Biden's less of he's definitely an incumbent. So, let's go. I want to go to some without a term limit. Like, think about a senator who's been there for 20, 30 years. He's the incumbent, and they've been there for 30 years. How are you going to beat somebody, right?
Right.
Great example. That's a long-term tenured incumbent. A senator, yeah, and we have senators that have been there for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, you can beat them, but the institutional support and the financial support that they have.
They know everything. They know everybody. They've helped or pissed somebody off over those 30 years. They know how to win. They know where the bones are buried.
Right.
Whereas if that person retires and me and Junior run for that same spot, it's a lot more of a straight up fight.
It's a better chance. Yeah. Okay.
Tremendously
and I'd win.
Probably.
Hey, I'm not gonna comment on it because I'm currently running, and I need all the support I can get. So I ain't saying nothing. I'm looking. I'm just smiling.
Vote Ezeonu 2024 May
Yes.
election, place 8. April 22nd through May 1st is early voting. May 4th is election day for the Grand Prairie municipality. Anybody who lives in Grand Prairie can go and vote for Junior Ezeonu.
Yes.
sir.
And it's actually April 30th is the last day for early voting, but he was a day off.
May 22 to April 3. I'm not running, so I ain't even thinking about it.
Nah, you good.
But yeah, continue on.
Yeah. I forgot the latter half of the question. Oh, about winning. Okay, so yeah.
So you had 35%.
I got
You go to
35.
runoff.
Exactly. Greg the incumbent had 39%, so we had to go into runoff. In Texas, if neither candidate gets 50% plus one, a simple majority, you have to have a second election where y'all duke it out head to head. And that's what happened in June. On June 5th, I defeated Greg, but I won't lie to you. Going into that election, I was feeling 50-50. Because I'm a data freak. So I was looking at all the data. I said, this is literally what I told everybody. I said, at this current stage, from the early vote numbers, I looked at the early vote numbers, and I was like, either I'm winning by 100 votes, Greg's winning by 100 votes, or it's pretty much a dead heat.
Wow.
Like, that's what I said. Early vote numbers come in on election day. So what happens after the polls close at 7, the early vote numbers get released immediately, and you see the early vote numbers. And the early vote numbers usually give you an idea as to how well you're going to do.
Right.
The early vote numbers usually mirror the election day numbers, but sometimes they don't, but like 80% of the time they do.
Okay.
I was winning by 107 votes.
I remember that now.
It was
I do remember
insane.
that.
I was winning by 107 votes.
Wow.
Imagine being me at that moment.
It wasn't. I jumped in. I'm so sorry, but it wasn't like even completed for a while, right?
It took forever for the numbers to come
yeah.
in. So like the whole city, everybody's like, "What happened?" This kid won. But yeah, I was up by 107 votes, and over time, it took a while to trickle in more. I ended up winning the race by 183 votes. So super close race. It was the highest voter turnout election that Grand Prairie had ever seen on the local level.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because what in the other district a runoff as well, right?
The other district had a runoff.
And then a Mansfield maybe had
Mansfield School Board had a runoff.
So like in Grand Prairie, but Mansfield School District also had a runoff. So you got 3 major elections and 3 major runoffs all in the same area or portion of the city.
Wow. On the same day.
Hold that. So man, that was a close race. How did that have you feeling, like it being that close and you coming out on top? Because that's really close. That's crazy.
Extremely close. I was just grateful. I was grateful that I was able to continue. Not continue. I was grateful that I was able to win an election and then have the opportunity to serve my city and my community. That was it. I just felt on top of the world for that night and for the next few days. Just was excited, man. Excited to get in there and to learn and to meet my colleagues on the council. Was just excited.
I remember in 18 when I won, and it was absolutely, for me, because I'm a very much like, I don't celebrate certain things or whatever, but I remember there was a feeling. It was a victory. It was more than a victory because the people chose you. Yeah. You were chosen by a majority of the people to be their leader. It was quite. The word I keep thinking of is humbling. It was just like, man, like they chose. I don't know how to explain it. Then the majority of people in your community chose you to be their leader, and I don't know how else to react to that besides just feel incredibly like grateful and like loved. I felt loved.
Yeah,
that's probably a big feeling, part of it too.
I think that's accurate. Yeah, you feel humbled that wow, y'all chose me. Right. Me, out of all people, you chose me. So you really trust me. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Right, but still to be the youngest ever.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of responsibility that people seeing in you.
I like that you say that. Because that's how I looked at it. People have asked me the question, being the youngest, what does that mean to you? And I say, it's an honor to be a representative of the younger generation, but a representative of everybody. But at the same time, this is a major responsibility.
Right.
Because I have to serve everyone. I have to represent everyone, and I will do it honorably. And I think that's something that for any young person that wants to get involved and run and serve in any form or capacity, understand that every decision you make, every choice you make, anything that you do at any point in time is representative of your community.
Right.
We'll fall back on the people that you're representing.
Yeah.
And if they're not happy with you, they can remove you in a few years.
I like that you say that because I think for me, moving from Chicago to here, I represent some of the good kids who are just looking for a way out of Chicago. Like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is my favorite player. He grew up in Chicago. I read his book, went through and did some of the same things I did growing up in Chicago. Like it's a thing where kids in Chicago would pump gas for money. I read that in Derrick Rose's book, and I'm like, wow, just like him.
Oh, so Derrick Rose pumped gas?
Yeah, it was
cool.
It was so crazy. I didn't expect that when I read his book.
So y'all do that like when it's cold and people don't want to get out their cars? Like how does that work?
We just did it to get money. It was 1 year. I did that in December. And I gave my mom all the money to buy me and my sister Christmas gifts. I pump gas like every day.
I respect that. I respect it.
But like you said, that just represents where you're coming from. Like you were given that opportunity to just make it out and give back ultimately, man. And you're doing
Trayvon, my truck is on E. My truck's on.
He said,
I'm too expensive now. I'm getting 50.
I think, no, look. That's what I was saying. His price went up. That's the difference.
The price went up for real. But, hey, man, you can't knock nobody's hustle. Man, like, that did a lot for me. And it just taught me work ethic, I would say. It taught me a lot of work ethic. But, great story and everything. But who's your favorite NBA team?
Man, you would never guess. And being from Chicago, you're going to hate this one.
I'm a Heat fan.
Oh, you're not a Bulls fan?
They traded Derrick Rose. I was like, oh, yeah.
You gave up.
So I followed Jimmy Butler. I'm like.
Okay, yeah. But, Jimmy's from Texas.
Yeah, Houston.
He went to school. He went to
Tyler,
yeah, TJC. He went to Tyler Junior College. Then he went to, I think, Marquette.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm a basketball fan. Come on, man.
You can't hoop, though?
Hey, we'll see about that.
Oh, man.
Growing up, I was a humongous Detroit Pistons fan. Wow.
Oh,
the biggest.
Cool. Oh, man, Cade.
Yeah, Cade, he went to school.
Arlington Bowie.
When he was a freshman, I think I was a senior. Yeah, I went to Bowie. I went to Arlington Bowie. I think I was a senior when he was a freshman.
Wow, you were a senior when I was a freshman too.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
it's so funny because when I think, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I say it's Thomas, Rodman. I was like, hold on, these guys got 20-year difference.
Yeah, he got the Karan Butler.
No. See, Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups. Nice. That's what I meant. They look alike. That's why I said that.
Good.
That's what they look alike.
Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace,
dude.
Ben Wallace.
They beat the Lakers.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you,
the year after I was born.
That's insane that he said that. Wow, the year after you were born.
04.
That is insane. You were born in 2003.
Yeah.
You're the age of my brother, my younger brother. Wow. That is crazy. But yeah,
man,
Detroit Pistons. I left that team after they traded Andre Drummond. I said, I'm done.
Oh, Drummond.
Drummond's on the Bulls. Huh? He's on the Bulls.
Drummond was the draw.
Drummond
He drew the line in the sand at Drummond.
I had to leave it.
That's 20
Drummond
points.
he was putting up 20 and 10 every
Wow.
game.
15.
He was the only person that we had. Cause look, we traded Chauncey back in 2008 to get AI, destroyed our whole organization with Allen Iverson.
Destroyed it. You did.
I mean, the Pistons fell off
Yeah.
astronomically. It was terrible. Then from the 2009 to like 2015, we sucked like crazy. We had Rodney Stuckey, nothing happened. I mean, we were just a bad team.
Right.
Rodney Stuckey's not a bad player. We were a bad team. We even drafted, what's his name?
He was
from Kentucky. Shooter. He was a good shooter. Brandon Knight. But Brandon Knight couldn't do nothing with Detroit.
He's terrible. Oh my God.
I'm not getting into that. But so when we drafted Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond, we had some big men that could play.
Greg Monroe's the second pick, right?
I think in like 2012 or one of those years.
Bro, he was drafted so high.
Yeah, and then he didn't work out.
I mean, you should be a fan. Now they got Cade.
So
They future is
they got
bright.
Cade, but they are terrible.
They are terrible.
They
Also, Marcus Sasser. If you,
I haven't kept up like that. I'm a Dallas
from
Mavericks
Dallas.
fan all the way now. I'm a Dallas
there's no hope
Mavericks
for
fan.
y'all. There's no hope.
I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan and I'm a LeBron fan. So wherever LeBron goes, I go. LeBron, he's my role model. Like LeBron, I love that guy. I love LeBron. But yeah, the Pistons. LeBron James.
Cole's a diehard Mavs fan.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Mavs
Won't
fan
see
for
a
life.
championship for 30 years.
Well, he saw one back in 2012.
2011. Yeah,
2011, yeah.
They
Well,
beat
my
LeBron.
phone still has the legend picture on it from then.
Man, another topic. My channel is big on music. What kind of music do you listen to?
Obviously hip hop, R&B. I'm big on Afro beats, of course. Got a little country in my playlist. Just a little country in my playlist.
Okay, me too. Cole knows.
Country slept on. People don't know this, but country slept on.
Nice.
I got some like Latino reggaeton.
And nah, he came up at council meeting jamming Selena with the windows down, dude. I was like, that dude.
Was it Selena? Oh no, I think you heard Maria.
Oh,
I forgot what
nice. That's Carlos Santana, boy.
Yeah, Carlos Santana. Yeah, exactly.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Future.
You heard the new album?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was telling Cole about this last week. What you think about Kendrick coming at Drake and J. Cole?
I enjoyed it. I really did.
Don't you feel like he just revived a dying rap game right now?
Not revived it, but he reminded us of like what rap was 15 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, but
I think he revived it if J. Cole and Drake respond.
Yeah, if they respond, then it becomes a thing, which they probably will because this is all commercial. Because Kendrick don't have a problem with none of that, but this is all commercial.
It's good for the game itself. It's good for the entire industry.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, obviously we don't want anybody capping each other, but man, you know, you guys, that's part of what rapping is. They even call it rap battles. You go against each other, you know, and that makes it so much better. And the rhymes are so much more like, oh, you know, that's the killer, right?
See,
if you get that's it, right?
And Kendrick went in, and that's the one thing I don't like about Future. I love Future, but Future doesn't rhyme half the time he raps these days.
He's psychedelic.
Yeah, he's
really psychedelic.
He's not rhyming. He's
but
just
I will
saying
tell you,
things.
that album was no misses. Like
they
went perfect on there.
But you know what's funny? His last album was really good too.
Yeah, Future's not getting like worse at all.
He's getting better.
It's crazy.
What's the one before that? High Off Life. The one that he had, what's the name of the one he had last year?
I Never Liked You.
I Never Liked You was really good. High Off Life was amazing. I Never Liked You was really good.
Right.
The one that he did with Young Thug back in like 2017. I love that.
Yeah, Super Slimy. Yeah.
I mean the guy makes consistently. He's being really silly in half the songs, but he makes good
Future
music.
is crazy, man. A sleeper on that album, We Don't Trust You, is the song with Rick Ross. Everyday Hustle.
It's cool. It's cool. The one I like a lot is Claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
He said, I gotta buy another. Man. I'm feeling claustrophobic.
They dropping another album in 2 weeks.
Who?
Future and Metro.
Again?
Yeah, it's a double.
Wow.
It's a double album. So it's
not a deluxe, but a whole nother album.
Yeah, a whole nother album. See, my thing is,
they turning into Young Boy. That's too much.
No, the thing is, Future stayed in his pocket. Like, he didn't get out of his comfort zone on his first album. I think on the second one, they're gonna switch it all up.
It could be like 20. I don't know if you remember 2017 when he dropped the Future album and then dropped the Hendrix album.
Right? Yeah, something like that.
The Hendrix
Exactly
album
like
was
that.
like an R&B rap fusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was sing. It was really nice, melodic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look
Future,
that
you
one
just
up
got
for
him.
Sure. I'll look that one up.
You might like. I think you'll like the Hendrix album back in 2017. It's more vibey.
See, that's great, man. My favorite rapper right now, currently, is JID. JID, he's J. Cole's artist.
I don't know JID.
He's cold. Even J. Cole, probably my favorite too right now, because I see him dropping the best album this year when he drops. It's gonna be crazy.
You know, like
yeah.
just like this podcast, even it's a blessing and a curse. There's so much out there.
Right.
There's so much music out there to listen to. You can get drowned in it and wake up and start over and not listen to the same thing ever again. Like if you can't listen to everything.
Right.
You just can't.
You can't.
Literally probably can't. And so it's kind of interesting. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. And, you know, I get caught up when I hear, like, I'm familiar with the artists and I've heard some of their stuff, but, like, I'm just not that. I'm like, oh,
Right,
man.
yeah.
It makes me want to go listen to it, you know. Which
Are
is
you
good.
still
Which is
listening
good.
to Nas right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
I thought it
Cole.
was a
He
mistake.
going through Nas.
You know, I don't know why I think that might have been the end of where I was listening to a lot of rap, maybe. I don't know, but I knew he was top all the time, and, you know, you just start getting your own thing, doing different stuff, and so you got me listening to it. Yeah, so absolutely.
You know a good place to go to listen to music?
Where?
A coffee shop.
Yes.
Like people sleep, bro. I was listening to this. I was at a coffee shop one time in another state, and just listening to the music, and they were playing this one song that I had no idea that I would like this, but it's called Sunrise. By this lady. It's an older song, like from 2005, but it goes like, sunrise, like morning in your eyes. I love it. It's like a really chill, vibey, like
Right.
neo pop.
See, bro, I didn't tell you this yet in this episode, but my dream is to open a coffee shop
You can do it.
so I can
You
serve
do it.
people just for a purpose like that, just playing any kind of music.
That'd be cool
Like-
too to get like artists because you do all the covers. You're familiar with music. Get the artists to like drop in samples or make sure they're always available to say put your music up here and you promote. You're able to be a promoter of music as well when you're in your
Right.
coffee shop. Because just like you say, he's exactly right. I listen to more music when I'm sitting up at the coffee shop sipping on.
Right, man. But, man, we appreciate you so much for coming through. This was fantastic, and I'm rooting for you. I believe in you, bro, and it's an honor to get to meet you, bro, and just to hear your story. We'll be in contact for sure.
Sounds good.
Cole.
Yeah, man. Hey, Junior Ezeonu for City Council, place 8. The May elections, May 4th. If you live in Grand Prairie, man, get out and do your civic duty. Cast a vote for our young man. This guy's in the community. You have access to him. He's doing a great job, and he's just getting started. So
He doesn't listen to bad music, actually.
that's a perfect reason to vote for him.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
For sure, man.
Thank you for letting me join you today, and it's been a pleasure. Keep up the great work y'all doing. I didn't know if you were trying to do elbow or
Let's do the rock, man. No, punch the rock like this. Put it up. There you go. Like that.
all right, let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Hey, Trayvon will make that look nice.
Now you make it look better. I got you. Yeah, but yeah, just thank you for having me. I really appreciated being on here, and just keep up the great work that y'all are doing.
For sure,
man.
bro. That was Old Fashioned Sit Down, episode 3. See y'all next time on episode 4 with a new guest.